Yo, what's going on, guys? My name is Nova, and today I'm going to be teaching you how I made a header like this, and I'm going to be pretty much guiding you through on how to make a header like this. And basically all it consists of is like these custom stocks, and I've had people ask me how I do it and how I do like the small details, and I'm trying to zoom in like the shine here, and I'm just going to be teaching you mostly how to make these stocks, but we're going to be learning how to make a header kind of flow with these stocks. Okay, so let me head over to Photoshop. Okay, before I even start like doing my header, I have a really good color correction preset that I always use, and yes, I made it. And I just feel like making everything while you have the color correction on is so much easier. Okay, so what you're gonna do is just get a pen tool and like draw a basic shape. So like maybe go from here to like here, for example. Yeah, I think this should be fine. Okay, and then now you want to go like, you want to make it smaller on one side and bigger on the other. So like over here I'm gonna make it smaller, and over here I'm gonna make it bigger, like that. And you just want to like make it look really dynamic. So I'm gonna do like maybe like this. You want to make the stock look dynamic, so like it kind of looks more real. You don't want to use like, you don't want to make the shape like way too basic. So once you have this, what you would just do is right click and make selection, click OK, and then if you have a new layer, if you don't, just make a new one and hold Control. Actually, before you do that, make sure your color is like go about to the middle of the gray and then go up a little bit. You can copy this code right here. It's B4, 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 but it doesn't need to be exact. So just hold Alt and delete, and that should fill in your shape. So now you have like a basic shape. You pretty much, you could take off of this shape, or you could just add a new shape, which is what I'm gonna do. So maybe like put one here and put one here, like that. Now, this doesn't look the best. I mean, if this wasn't a tutorial, I'd probably spend a lot more time on this, but I'm just giving you guys like a general idea. So once you make that, you just go to make selection and you choose a color. This one's gonna be, you're gonna go from the middle and you're gonna go down. So the one I'm using is 464646. Just click OK and Alt delete to fill it in. Make sure you do this on a new layer. Now this could work, but we're gonna make it look a lot more complex. So let's just go ahead and call this light, and let's call this dark, right? So we have the dark, and this doesn't matter what's under because the light is always above it. But yeah, we have the light part, which is this part, and then we have the dark part. So what I like to do on the light part is just create a clipping mask, make a new layer and set it to clipping mask. So whatever you paint in, it goes over the light part. And okay, so once you have that, I just like to add shadows. So first thing I like to do is just get a white and add like a glow along the edge. So make sure your hardness is on 0 and the brush size doesn't really matter, but you're gonna be doing like this, like painting off on the side, like not completely on it, but like on the side. So just this gives it like a slight glow, which kind of makes it look more curved. And so there's light on one side, so we want to add a little bit of dark on the other side, so like here, and also do it like just barely like this. And now we're gonna lower the opacity of this, so just a little bit should do. And then we're gonna add another layer. Also set it to clipping mask. You want to all these like you want to set them all to clipping mask, and I'm gonna lower this actually because I don't really like the way it looks. And now I'm just gonna add like random like dots like that, but you want to make sure that it's under the light. There you go. And now you just lower the opacity to actually lower the fill to like really low percentage, like 12%. Like make this really low because it's gonna look really bad if it's like this. I mean, it doesn't have to, but I don't know. And you could also do one more thing, and that is make like a shadow on one side. But I don't really do this often because I don't know. Maybe like that. Yeah, that looks fine. You could do that. Just always make sure, like, if you're adding black, make sure it's under the glow. It doesn't have to be, but I just find it to look a lot better, like if the glow goes over the black. But yeah, it's totally up to you. Okay, so now if we take off the dark part, you can see that we have like a pretty cool looking stock now. So just now we gotta mess with the dark. Okay, for the dark part, what I like to do is pretty much the same thing. You're just not gonna be adding that much light. You're gonna be adding black a lot more. So let's try. I'm not sure if I do this, but let's try adding like a brush right there. And I'm not sure if we could add light. I mean, I guess we could. Maybe like over here where the light part looks the lightest, we could add a little bit of light. Yeah, we could do that. We could add a little bit of light like this. And on the dark part where the light stock goes kind of to a darker shade of gray, we could just get a black and do like a shadow over here. Maybe like this. And just lower the opacity. Actually, we could keep it up. It doesn't make that big of a difference. So now your stock is looking like pretty decent, I would say. It's still right here, something is missing. So we can add a shadow. Or we could try adding a light. Let's see. Okay, so let's try adding a light, see what that looks like. What we did here, this light, it kind of gives that feeling that there's a ditch in between the edges, you know. But if we were to put like a black, then it would look like it kind of let me show you. Now it kind of looks more like a natural stock, because it looks like it's going up, like, you know, like, I don't know if you guys know what I mean, but it kind of looks like it's going like that, right? And then here like that, rather than if we put this on and take off the dark, now it actually kind of looks like it's going like that, you know what I mean? So this is up to you which one you want to do, but I think I like this one more. This one looks more natural, definitely, but this one just kind of looks more eye-pleasing, I guess. This right here, you see like the glow right here? That's what we're gonna be making. So how I made this is you just go with a brush that's really small, like on the edge it should be about maybe like this big. I think 5 is too small. I think I went with 7 last time when I did that, and yeah, that's pretty good. So you want to make sure the hardness is on 100% and that the color is on white. So now that you have your brush set up, you have to do this before you actually make this. You have to set up your brush, and then now you're gonna just like kind of trace over the light part, over the edge of the most lightest part. So maybe stop like right here, and you want to like pen tool the exact shape of the edge. So I think that is like pretty spot on. So now you can just right click and stroke path. Make sure you have a new layer selected, and you want to make sure you click brush and simulate pressure. So now this gives like a really cool like the glow, and I think I would go with the smaller brush, but you can see what this does. It kind of like makes that glow, and if you don't like the way this looks, you can even set it to overlay, and now it really looks like it's kind of like glowing. You could move it around up or down, but you want to put it on the light part. It's like black and white, so what I like to do, I like to add like these color strokes like right along the stock. So how I would do that is you just pretty much you get an elliptical, or not elliptical, you can just like get a brush, make a new layer, and get a brush. Maybe like you're gonna try to fit the size of the, you don't have to exactly fit it, you can make it smaller, because like if you were to fit it, it would be like something like this, right? And it would go along with the edge, but you could even make it smaller, and you could do something like this. So I'm just gonna pick a color. I want to go with like a light blue color. Yeah, that's fine. So make sure your brush is make sure it's on 100% hardness, and then you just go like, you don't want to put it like here, because that kind of messes up the shape. You want to put it like down here, so over here where it starts, it kind of goes with the same distance from the edge of the stock, and then it just kind of separates from it. You know what I mean? You could even make it bigger, so it has more relation to the stock, so like that. And now what you can do is get a brush and make sure it's on 100% hardness, and now you kind of erase like most of it, and you just kind of want to keep like a little outline. That's too much. Make it a little bit smaller like this, and there's a better way to do this, but I like doing it like this, and that is way too thick, so let's make it less thick. Yeah, I guess this could do. So what I like to do for this part is make a new layer above this and right click and set it to clipping mask, and in the middle of it I like to go for even a brighter color, whatever you chose. So make sure you select your brush and hardness to 0, and you just put it like in the middle. So now this kind of gives it a glow. You don't have to put it in the middle, you could put it on the side, and I would say that it looks even better for this case. And I'm just gonna lower the opacity a little bit, so like that. So you just now merge these two layers, so you have one layer with the stock, so it looks like this. And my Photoshop is really laggy, so I'm sorry for that, but I hope you guys I hope it's not that laggy that you guys don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, anyway, so just duplicate this layer, so you have 2 layers with the stock, and now you just go to filter, blur, and Gaussian blur, and you want to add like a really slight blur. So like maybe like this, and set it to screen and lower the opacity way down, just a little bit. It's like 50% or like 30%. Okay, now once you have this, you pretty much have like the most important part of the stocks. So now you just what we could do here is we could add like a really dark circle, just to kind of like make it less boring, I guess. And it's gonna go all the way under all of it. So I'm gonna go with the color like this, like a really dark gray, and just put it like here. Kind of make it go with the outside of the stock. So maybe like this. And we could even add like a 3D effect to this, so just create clipping mask and make this part, we could do darker or you could do lighter, it's all up to you, but I'm just gonna go darker, so like that. And you could of course like mess around with this, but oh, what did I do? I'm just gonna like keep it simple, so I'm just gonna add like a small light over here, just a really small one. There you go, and make it darker on one side, like that. Just go to Google, and all you have to type in is just put carbon fiber texture. And I'm sorry like this tutorial is a little bit long, but I know that like all my longer tutorials do really well, so hopefully you guys find this helpful, but I think you will. And you want to find like a really dark, like this is perfect. So you just copy it and you want to throw it in here. Now you put it under the stock, just get it like this. Don't make it too big because it's gonna look bad if you make it way too big. Like that. And then just erase this part here. There we go. So you just erase the part outside of the stock. And there you go. So once you have this, like what you're gonna do is you're just gonna group all of everything that you made, and you just wanna click Control A and Control J to duplicate it. So now you click Control T and you rotate it. Make sure you hold Shift when you rotate it, so it rotates by some straight amount. So like you always rotate it by 180 degrees, and you can see that this is starting to look like really good. So one more thing I would do is, now you have both of your stocks like on each side. So what I would like to do is maybe add like a little bit of white glow coming from the stock, but make sure you erase that later. So like maybe over here where it's really light, maybe like that. And just to make sure, I'm gonna erase everything inside the stock. But even though there's nothing there, I'm just gonna like erase it and go to click Control A and Control J to duplicate everything on screen, and just rotate it and put it up here. And you want to make it look like the other one, so like that. There we go. You could just make another stock there, like over here you can see it's pretty much what I did here, and then here I made another stock. And actually I'm gonna show you guys how to do that. So like if you want to stop here, go ahead, and I guess this would be a bonus. Hold on, how long has this been? Oh god, this is really long. Doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm just gonna make one more stock. So just get a pen tool and go over here. Maybe like it could stop here, it doesn't matter. And then we could go, would that look really bad? So I'm just gonna get the pen tool, and this is gonna be the light part. So I'm just gonna make selection, and okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this and just click my selection tool and right click and layer via copy. So now we have this, right? So this part I'm gonna color it in the lighter gray. So color overlay and set it to color. I mean set it to like a lighter gray, so like that. I'm just gonna do it really quick on this one because the tutorial is pretty long. So what is going on? Oh, you want to rasterize this before you. There you go. So now you have the light over here, and now let's just make it dark over here under the light. Too much. Okay, and I'm gonna go back to the dark, and I'm gonna add like, make it dark here, lower the opacity. So like that. You want to make it kind of like low-key because it's a stock that's not like the main stock. Like these stocks are the main stock, so this one could be like a little darker and just a little bit of light over here. It's too much, so just lower the opacity. Too much. Just like that. Okay, so now I'm just gonna duplicate Control A and Control J, and I'm just gonna copy it down here. It's like really laggy, but whatever. Okay, so once you have that, you pretty much are done, and now you are pretty much done. You could add more of these light streaks. You could add one like here, going through all the way. You could make one go here and then go this way, and you could just like mess around with it and make it look cool. But I unfortunately don't have enough time for it because I want to keep this kind of straight up. But the main idea was like how to make these stocks, and I think I gave like a good give you guys a good idea on how to make these. So if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like down below. If you want more tutorials, let me know in the comments, and also subscribe, because I know for a fact there will be more tutorials. And yeah, so if you found this helpful, do those 3 things, and thank you for watching. Have fun.